Now that we have practiced a problem on our own, let's go ahead and try one more to stamp what we've been learning today. So there are 750 students in the 7th grade class, 625 students in the 8th grade class at Kent Middle School. What percent is the 7th grade class of the 8th grade class at Kent Middle School? So I see my question, it says, what percent is, and is that the same as what percent of? No. Therefore, the 7th grade class is not the total. So let me go ahead and highlight that really quickly because it says what percent is the 7th grade class of the 8th grade class. And that's going to be very important because we are looking for certain phrases to help identify what the total and the part are. So I do see the word of further down, and they are talking about the 8th grade class. So therefore, that is the total amount that they want us to compare. And so we want to just stamp to help build on our reading comprehension. In the first problem, we learned that to find the total amount, our eye needs to look for the words percent of. And in this problem, we see the words percent is. So let's go ahead and write that down. Percent, is giving us the amount they want to focus on as the part. So percent is leads us to the part. And then we are going to put that in front of percent of, which gives us the total. So let's go ahead and write this in our notes. So when we see the words percent is, it leads us to the part or the quantity. And then when we see percent of, that leads us to the total. So now that we've identified our part and total, right? We now know that the percent is 7th grade is the quantity or the part. And 625 for the 8th grade is the total. We can write our equation to solve. So quantity equals percent times whole, replacing Q with 750. We don't know the percent, so we're going to leave that there. But we do know the whole amount is 625. So using our inverse operations, let's go ahead and work backwards to solve. And we know with bow tie that 625 goes on the outside, 750 goes on the inside. And we know that 625 goes into 750 one time. Borrowing, adding a decimal and a seat with our 0. And 625 goes into 1,250. Let's just guess 5 times. That is way too much. Oh, I'm reading this wrong. It's times 1,250. Let's try 2. All right, 600 doubled would get us close to 1,200. I don't know what I was thinking over here. And sure enough, it is twice. So our decimal is 1.2, but we are asking for a percent. So we know with Dr. Pepper, we have to move it over 2 times to the right. And what would we fill this gap with? A 0. So our percent is 120%, which is okay. We can have percent over 100, which we've talked about in previous lessons. So to answer the question, it says, what percent is the 7th grade class of the 8th grade class? So the 7th grade class is 120% of the 8th grade class. So to stamp, when we see the words percent is, they are leading us to the part. When we see the words percent of, they are leading us to the total. We're going to go ahead and try one on our own.